Thyme, this is exciting. Remember last week I told you that the Headwaters Food and Farming Alliance local food club kits? Hello, picked it up today. I'm not cooking it till tomorrow, but I wanted to open it up on camera so you could see how fun and beautiful this is. I'm pretty excited about this. Let's check it out. So these, they do them at the last Tuesday of each month during growing season locally. So we're gonna be in these for a few months. Look at this. We are going to be making loaded rainbow nachos and buffalo cauliflower wings. Nice. Look at that. This is beautiful. And all of this comes with all of the food. A nice little recipe. I'm going to follow a recipe this week. Let's see how I do with that. I'm a bit of a squirrel the way I think, so get ready. It's going to be a choppy ride. Let's see what's in here. This is so nice. Look at all the nice information. And it says what farms have given us the food. Holy mackerel. I love it. I'm going to tuck that in case the wind gets it. We're obviously in my garden again. So we got some really nice special Ontario made tortilla chips. Beautiful. That's going to be for our nachos. Oh my gosh. Look at the beautiful onion. Look at this food. I got a bag. This is probably my beans. Holy Dinah. It's stapled shut, but I'm going to go ahead and go in. You can imagine me on Christmas when you see me doing this, right? This is, oh, I can smell how nice that onion is. Beautiful. Beautiful. I know that we've got beans in here somewhere. There they are. Look at this. I'm just going to bring a handful out to show you, Shannon. Look at those. So I kind of did a sneak peek at the recipe online last night, and I know I'm going to have to soak those beans overnight. So I'll be doing that when we're off camera. Another beautiful red onion. They did promise us a rainbow. Peppers. Look at this food. Corn. Are you kidding me? More corn? Look at all the food in here. This is fantastic. Little grape tomatoes. More peppers. These ones are probably going to be hot. I bet these are going to be hot. I have to, when I cut them, I cannot touch my eyes. I have to remember that. Or it'll be me on onions times 10, right? So, and look at this beauty. Oh my word. Because we're going to make chicken wings with cauliflower. And look at that purple cauliflower. This is beautiful, you guys. This is going to be amazing. There's another pepper. So we've got, just to review, we've got in here nachos, baby tomatoes, corn, a cob of corn, pepper, hot pepper, black beans. I need to pick up some cheese for our nachos. That's no big deal. I probably have some in the fridge at the kitchen at Westminster. Cauliflower, some garlic powder, onion powder, milk, flour, breadcrumbs, buffalo sauce. I need to go to the store for buffalo sauce, some kind of barbecue sauce, right? Buffalo sauce is a little different. It's a little tangier. And some cheese and some milk. That's all I need from the store. You probably already have milk. Good chance you've got enough cheese. You just need 1 cup and 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of breadcrumbs. We've probably already got a lot of this in the kitchen. This is so exciting. What I might do is tomorrow I might start slicing and dicing and chopping, because this meal is not necessarily following our saving time rule of ready in an hour. So I might start the slicing and dicing off camera before we meet again tomorrow to cook it all up. Otherwise, get ready. I'm so excited. This is going to be fun. Rainbow nachos, buffalo cauliflower wings. Get ready. I'll see you tomorrow. All the stuff. Look at how nice this looks. I've been slicing, I've been dicing, I've been doing things, getting us sorted out. Headwaters Food and Farming Alliance local food club. Can't say enough about the beautiful product they've given us. This is all top drawer food. Beautiful, but look at this. Look at the purple cauliflower. Look, it's practically a bouquet. I mean, honestly, right? It's kind of crazy, but it's gorgeous. I love it. Can't get enough. It looks like a giant hydrangea. It's fantastic. If this doesn't make you hungry, I don't know what will. Beautiful food. We're making a pretty fancy meal here tonight. We are doing black bean nachos with buffalo cauliflower rings. Nice, right? We are in for a treat. Just to be really clear, this is saving time, but we're gonna go over our hour tonight. This is the kind of meal where you need all hands on deck. If they're eating, they've got a spot to be helping, okay? Get everybody in the kitchen, get together. Many hands make light work, okay? So get everybody doing what's age appropriate for them, get them helping out. This can be fun. There's lots of opportunity to get mucky hands. Let's get busy. I'm gonna back up slightly. I obviously did the slicing and dicing here. You remember when I opened the box, I said we had to soak the beans overnight. I've done that. I've been simmering the beans. They're just on the stove there. They needed about an hour to simmer. I did it off camera. I mean, you know how to cover beans with water and put them on. You didn't need me to do that. I saved a cob of corn and the cauliflower to cut on camera because sometimes these things can be a little tricky to do, and I thought, you know what, let's do them together. First thing we need to do is start with our cauliflower. I am preheating the oven to 450. I want to just quickly show you, when you open up your box, you get this beautiful sheet of instructions. It tells you how to do everything, where your food came from. It's fantastic. I love this. It's so nice. I'm following their recipe, okay? This is not a Margot recipe. This is Margot following a recipe. You're gonna watch me squint at this paper because that's right, I don't have my glasses on, and that means I actually can't see. But I'm gonna be vain about it and not wear them. You know what, they drive me nuts. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that and get all in a funk about my glasses. We're not going there. But if I'm squinting, that's why. I'm gonna try to follow the recipe. I'm not gonna be a Margot about it. I'm not going to be like, ah, that's good enough. That's about the right amount. I'm gonna measure tonight. You're gonna see, it's gonna be great. Chopping up the cauliflower. We wanna break it into florets. So first thing off, we can get rid of what we don't need. And by the way, look at how, I mean, actually, look at like the compost I've already created. It's pretty compost. I mean, seriously, how often does the bowl of compost look so nice? This is just, it's a rainbow, right? It really is. I love this cauliflower. We've talked about the colorful vegetables before and how nice they are, and they really, really are. All I want to do to start our cauliflower is just chop it in half. There we go. And then into quarters. Something over there rattles every time I cut. I'm gonna just spread them around so that that's not gonna be the case. Ah, still. It's the spoons. They're gonna kill me. There, I should be silent now. We'll see. So into quarters, let's start with that. And then you just are basically going to get rid of that stem. And look at that. See how it just, bravo, right? So easy peasy. We can tidy up all the little individual pieces when we need to. But look how tidy that is. And like seriously, how many times have you fought with a cauliflower and this just made it look like a magic trick, right? And it's not, it's just really, really straightforward. Somehow you feel like you have to pluck away at it or something, and he loves me not pulling on the cauliflower. But this is much better, and that's all nonsense. There you go. Okay, that's started. That's as far as I'm gonna go right this moment with that. Because once we get it all cut up, and I'm gonna have more than I can fit on that board, we're gonna toss it in a kind of a dredge that we're going to use to I see something on there that I don't want to forget I see. I think it's a piece off the corn silk. So we're going to dredge it, and then we're going to coat it in breadcrumbs because we're making wings out of our cauliflower, right? So following the recipe, I'm on this. I've got 1 cup of flour in here. This is a nice big bowl because I've got to fit my cauliflower in there. I've got a cup of flour, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. It's a shaker bottle, and I want to measure. You know what? Here we go. We'll see what I can do. Oh, it actually, look, I'm doing brilliantly here. There, 1 teaspoon. That was fantastic because I was about just to throw everything I just said about following the recipe out the window. You saw that coming. Shannon's laughing because she knew. So it was 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and now I want 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. 1 and 2. There we go. And then let's give that a little blend. And then we're gonna go 1 cup of milk. So just dump it in. You don't need to use a whisk, I am, because you know, flour creates lumps and I don't want to deal with lumps. I want it to be nice and smooth. I think it says stir, I'm gonna whisk. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk. I'm a whisker. So we'll just get it blended around. I think that's probably looks pretty good. I'm not going to let my whisk get too far because if I decide I want more of that, I can always mix up more. This cauliflower looks pretty big. So let's start breaking it into small bits. I got a small knife out as well because I want to, you know, not lose a digit. You're thinking like chicken wings, so you don't want to make them like super small. But at the same time, get rid of big pieces of stem. And there's no reason not to use the little bit. Okay? That one's pretty big, so we'll just do that. And that. And there. And in they go. That's more stem than I want. You know what? Some people don't mind the stem. I personally think it's the stem. I mean, it's really not the part that we're eating, is it? So that's my personal feeling about the stem is that's what it is. I don't eat the stem on the apple either. You know what? My husband eats the core of the apple. Is that weird? That's kind of weird. I think it's a little bit weird, but he does. Shannon's agreeing with me. Definitely a weird thing to do. He does. The core. I know. I used to give the core to my dog. See, I figured, you know, how can I didn't think that could be a bad thing for the dog, but it seemed like a healthy enough treat. Made the dog happy. So there we go. Enough on apple core. So you know what? I see a piece there that I'm just not a fan of. Look, the sun got that part. So I'm going to get rid of it. Got messy fingers. I'm just going to do that to make sure that I've got lots of space in there still. I do. All we're doing here is we're just going to coat it and then get it wet, really, in this mix so that the breadcrumbs will stick to it. I think I told you to preheat to 450, so hopefully that's happening at your house as well. I'm just going to do that. Like I say, we're just cutting into pieces that feel like chicken wings, right? You don't want it to be, it's not a veggie platter. The dog's barking outside. They know about the apple core. They're saying, feed me. There we go. And that way, there's that. Good, look at this. Isn't this pretty? You know, I've grown, in our garden, we've grown the orange cauliflowers. And I think years ago we did a purple one. They're quite fun. They're quite fun. It's fun if you do like all sorts of colorful vegetables and like unpredictable ones and kind of, it's a bit of a lark, right? Blue potatoes and purple cauliflower and red beans and all that. And it makes it fun. It's like a party. This is such a nice, I can't tell you enough. You know how sometimes cauliflower feels, I don't know, like chalk on your hands, like dry and it kind of sticks? Look, I'll show you what I mean. This isn't like sticking to me. You know how cauliflower does? Because it's kind of, this is beautiful. This is not like that. This is super fresh. Super fresh. At some point in the video, we're going to show all the farms where this food has come from. So just keep watching. They will show up, and then you'll know which farms it came from. If you're not watching from the Orangeville area, I'm sure any local farm in Ontario right now will have the same kind of foods available. If you're not a farm shopper, or if there's not a food club like this in your area, there's got to be a farmer's market near you where you can get beautiful food like this. Some grocery stores carry things like this, not so often, not so often, but fun thing to go to the farmer's market for. And you know what, going to the farmer's market on the weekend it's a fun thing to do. You go out, you talk to people, you get out inside. If you don't have your own garden, it's the next best thing. Get you a little closer to your dinner table, right? And you feel excited then when you go home about cooking the food, because it feels a little more connected to what you're eating when you talk to the people who grew it. I recommend it. This, if you want to get involved in the Headwaters Local Food Club, if you go to their website, HFFA, if you look that up, there's all the sign-up information and things like that for getting involved in their food club. It's really, I can't say enough about how good the people are. I'm thrilled by the product I'm getting here. Like, this is beautiful stuff. There we go, we're just about through this. Can you imagine how much cauliflower was here? That's a lot. Those are too itty bitty to deal with. We're not going to go there, okay? So now just keep pushing it around. You want to get all of that coated. So I'm just, well, we've talked about folding before, where you're bringing what's on the bottom to the top and just keep doing it until we can see, because this is this beautiful purple cauliflower, we can see if it's coated or not. If it was white, it'd be a trickier business, but this is pretty easy. We know we're done when we're done. But actually, it looks pretty good now. You just want to make sure that it's wet so that the breadcrumbs will stick. Bravo. I'm happy with that. This, yikes. I'm just going to slide it out of the way for now. There. Because I want to bring my big baking sheet over here. That. Okay. There. Sorry. I know. I get a little carried away about cleaning up as I go, but it makes me feel better. Makes me feel more organized. There we go. I've got 2 pieces on this baking sheet, and if you have to do 2 to cover your baking sheet, make sure you overlap it well so that you're less likely to have it sink underneath. 1 cup of bread comes in here. They specifically asked for the Japanese style panko, so I picked some up. I had regular breadcrumbs, but I picked up what they wanted because I'm following the recipe, and I'm really gonna do it. So all we want to do now is toss the coated cauliflower in the breadcrumbs. So I would suggest, throw in enough that you can see what's happening, and then just toss, okay? And then we're going to spread it out, and that's it. And we're just going to keep doing a bit at a time. If you have another nice big bowl like that floating around, then get it out. I only had the one super big one, so that's what I'm doing. We'll go in shifts, and that's okay. All right, to go in shifts. This would be a great task for someone who's not quite ready to manage a knife, right? Get them on this. This is good fun, and then they get the messy fingers instead of you. So we're just, again, making sure it's coated, and then tossing it in here. And I'm doing the same kind of folding action. You know what? We can finish this off camera. I'll come right back when we're ready to put this in the oven. Okay, so it's all coated and ready to go. Look at this nice full pan. This is a big sheet pan, and it's loaded. If you have normal sheet pans, you probably need 2 to get it spread out and make it fit. So I'm gonna just get that opened up so I can go straight over with it. Make sure you line your pan with the parchment, okay? This would ruin your good time if you had to scrub that pan. Although I did say get a team, so maybe you'd be okay. I'm gonna put this in the middle of the oven. We wanna bake it for 20 minutes and flip it halfway through. So I already put 10 minutes on my timer. Start, there we go. Okay, that's going on. The next thing I want to do is mix up our wing sauce, our buffalo wing sauce, right? Because we need to be ready. When that 20 minutes is up, we're gonna pour our sauce over and be ready to go to coat the wings and then back into the oven. I just store-bought buffalo sauce, so whatever brand you want to buy. I found this one. This is Compliments brand. I picked it up at Freshco, and it's a mild. It's a two, okay? I thought, you know what? I'm not going three. Three seemed extreme. I wasn't ready for three. Personally, I would have gone one. I'm a kind of one person, but you know, I know other people like the heat, so I did that. I split the difference. I thought two was a nice middle number. So we need 1 cup, and there we go. And then there's still a little bit left in this bottle, so I'll put that in the fridge later. You never know what we might need it for in the future. And now we're supposed to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Look at me following the recipe. I'm pretty pleased with myself. I didn't bring a tablespoon measure over. I'm not going to feel too nervous about it. I've got a teaspoon measure, which means 6. Okay? And 1, 2, 3. That's 1 tablespoon. And there's 2. Okay. 2 tablespoons. Done. Holy compost. This is a beautiful meal because this is just all good food. And you know what? When you get food like this, either through a food club or something of that sort, or if you do go out to a farmer's market or to a farm market, like a market at an actual farm, take your kids with you. We talked about this, I think last week, when we said, you know, the distance between the dinner table and the food source is getting too great. Take them with you, let them see food, real food, and then bring them home and get them to help you cook it, okay? So that they learn how it shows up on the table. Really get them connected to what they're eating. So we just added the oil to our buffalo wing sauce. That's all we're gonna do for now. When our 20 minutes are up, it says that we will toss it in this. So at some point between now and then, I'm gonna wash that great big bowl up again so that I can toss it in there. We'll have time to come to that. I know that I'm done with each of these things, so I'm gonna get them out of my sight and off of my mind. Getting ready for the nachos. They'll go in for the very last 10 minutes of the cooking time, but we can get them ready. So I did all of this. I sliced up, oh my gosh, you saw the peppers yesterday. I felt kind of bad dicing them up, but then I remembered we did open up the box on camera yesterday and see everything. Look at these beautiful peppers. So we've got hot peppers, sweet peppers, really nice cherry tomatoes, corn. Look at red onion. This is nice onion. Holy mackerel, beautiful. The corn. I wanted to do this on camera so you could see, because people think it's a big deal to get the kernels off the cob. You know what? It's probably no surprise to you that I'm really get carried away about getting all the silk off the corn. I try to stop myself because it's ridiculous. I'm not going to worry about getting a fresh knife. It's all the same stuff. So, Shannon, I don't know if you can easily see. I've got a larger bowl, and then I put this little soup bowl in here upside down, and it's got a little bit of a rim. And that rim is going to hold things still for me. Cut the 2 tips off of your corn so that you've got a nice flat spot, okay, so that you can hold it still. I want to put my towel underneath the bowl, or actually I'm going to put the cutting board there. Now I will warn you, I mean, when you cut corn, there's a lot of, when it's fresh, there's a lot of, I don't know, liquid in there. I don't know what it is. I don't want to call it juice because that feels like corn juice, and nobody wants to think about that. See, Shannon's hiding her face. She's like, I can't unsee that, Marco. So anyway, it gets messy. Shannon, don't get too close so it'll be on the camera. So fresh corn has a lot of moisture in it. So we don't want that going all over the place. So just get your bowl on a cutting board, hold it still on the towel so you don't lose track of things. And then hold it, watch your fingers, and go down the side. And all that corn falls into the bowl. if you did this just on the cutting board straight, the corn tends to fly around. You want the big bowl so that it catches it, okay? And just, Shannon's probably worried about my fingers. I'm not gonna get them. I can tell she is, she's worried about them. And I won't get them, Shannon. See how it flies and such? You've gotta be mindful. So, the bowl works great because it catches all of it. Isn't this a great way to do it? This is smart, right? And once again, I know they sell fancy tools called corn zippers and all of this. Really? Like, this is killing me, right? This is exhausting. I don't need a special tool for this. I have, as I'm sure you do, a couple of bowls and a knife. We're gonna be okay. We don't need fancy tools. Last turn. Look at that. That's amazing. All tidied up. See how that did it? Look at that. Next time you can get corn for a really good buy, grab it and make your own corn niblets instead of buying them, right? That's what we've just done. We've made corn niblets. So now you can get your little support bowl out of there. Your support bowl. Whoops. That was exciting. Shannon's laughing at me a lot tonight. She's a little punchy. Okay, there we go. Maybe it's me. We'll get all of it off of there. Good, good, good. Okay. I'm not going to let these pieces go to waste. Of course I'm not. There. Now, just to clean that up, and my hands need a wipe again. So, we've got all of our corn in here, and you can see it's all, look how nice it came out. It's an easy way to do it, but trust me about the bowl. Don't just put that small bowl on top of your cutting board, because the corn is going to leave the cutting board area. You need the bowl, okay? It doesn't look like you needed the big bowl, you needed the big bowl, okay? You see yourself, you clean up your own mess though. So, I'm just gonna clean that up. These are all for the dishes. Yikes. I think that we're in pretty good shape. I'm gonna drain those beans actually. So as far as the beans go, I soaked them overnight. I just put them in a bowl that had a lid that fit it. And I covered them with water to about 4 inches over, like in depth over the beans, just to make sure that they had a lot, they absorb a lot. And then when I drained off the water that I soaked them in, then I did the same thing. I added them to the pot with, I've got a full sink over here, haha. So I added them to the pot with fresh water to about the same distance, like the same 4 inches over. I'll get rid of a little bit. There we go. And that one can come out. This is that giant bowl that needs to be washed. Okay, it's out of our way. So now I've got my colander here, and I let them cook for pretty near an hour, okay? So I would suggest doing the same. Once you've got that out, I sometimes find it easy just to drain it back over the pot that I cooked them in. If you leave it sitting on the bottom, sometimes the water comes up around it and then it can't drain anymore because it's actually submerged. So if you do something like that, it lifts it up, gets rid of it. We're just gonna let those fully drain. You can see they're still steamy hot. Just gonna leave them still. When we're ready to load up the nodules, they'll be ready for us. I'm gonna check the timer. If we're not close, I might wash some of those dishes we were just looking at. You know what, we're at the last minute. I think that we can just clear some space. We have to turn the cauliflower over. So, there's a little condensation in there. A little bit of a mess. It's just water mess though, so it's okay. When that pan comes out, it's going to be, of course, pretty hot. I keep this towel because it's nice and big, and then it holds almost the whole surface of those big baking sheets. Just push this to the side. To turn the cauliflower, I'm feeling my fingers for the job, okay? I think messing around with tongs or something is going to take a really long time. I really feel like this is a job for our hands. And I'm happy to say that there it goes. Okay, look at us, we are rocking. Oh, it's browning up nice. Oh, nice. It looks beautiful. There we go. So you don't need to get yourselves too nervous about things. We're just turning it so that it browns evenly, okay? We want, that was a little hot. I'm okay. Not a big deal. And just try. I mean, you can tell what side's what without worrying about where you've been and where you haven't been. You're going to be able to tell it's brown or it's not. The brown side was facing up. Just keep turning it, and if you miss a couple, it's not going to be the end of the world. We're just looking to make it, well, we're hoping for perfection, aren't we? It feels really nice, like it's already getting crispy, and then it will be able to hold the sauce without getting, you know, soggy and weird. So, you know what? I mean, honestly, you're gonna love these. They really do. It feels like chicken wings, but it's cauliflower, and what a fun way to do it. And it makes a fun appetizer too. Think like football parties and stuff like that. This is a fun app. It's going back in for another 10 minutes. There we go. I'm gonna use these 10 minutes to clean up the kitchen, and I'll see you in a few. Look at how nice these look. Okay, and onto the towel. I'm just going to close that. I don't need any help here. Okay. Gorgeous, right? So nice. So what we want to do is put them back into our bowl. I'm going to try to keep that parchment paper decent if I can, so that I can just drop it all back onto there to go back in the oven. These are fantastic. I wish, you know, texture can't be carried, but they feel crispy. They're going to be really good because they're crispy, and that's what you want. You want to bite into it and feel it like that. This is painstaking slow. I'm going to risk the parchment. I touched it. I did. And if you can do it, then yay, that was pretty good. I'm satisfied with the result. There we go. My fingers are going to do that one. Okay. Now, we mixed up our buffalo sauce. I'm going to drizzle about half of it on and then toss it around a bit. And then I'm going to do the other half. I want to make sure it all gets coated. I don't want to end up top heavy here. And you can see, again, we can see that it's getting coated, right? I mean, we don't need to wonder. I think we've got lots. I kind of wondered if that was going to be enough, to be honest. I kind of thought, oh, that seems a little chintzy, but it's not at all. See, I'm following the recipe. The recipe is accurate. Who knew? I think this is a tested recipe. Ha ha. I dare say somebody's done this ahead of me. They knew what they were up to. Okay. I'm hoping that this buffalo wing sauce isn't going to surprise us. I should have been the kind of person who did a little taste test before, but you know what? You do that, okay? You go ahead, taste test it, or buy one that you already know you like. I don't know that my boys like hot sauce and stuff like that. They add it to everything. It's kind of insulting sometimes. I'm like, really? I've seasoned this meal while I was cooking it, and then they add like a pile of hot sauce. Okay, dump it all back on, and I'm not going to get those dredgy bits because I think they're going to feel a little bit gooey. Spread it out again so that it keeps on getting hot through and crispy on all the sides. There we go. We're putting this back in the oven for another 10 minutes, and then for the final 10 minutes, we're going to add the nachos. Just do that. Okay. And here we go. Safe spot. Voila. Now, our nachos. easy peasy at this point. We've done all the hard work. We're gonna get them ready. There's nice instructions on this paper about how to assemble them. Things like this, you know what, you think, I know exactly what I'm doing, and then, like, I don't know about you, every time I make lasagna, I have to tell myself what the layering sequence is to always remember, and this is the same kind of thing. You've got to get it right. We start with our chips. Chips are going to go on the bottom. Now I will say this says to do it on a baking sheet, so like a flat sheet. I kind of thought I wanted the sides to help hold it, and my vision was that that would go straight to the table. So if you've got a nice casserole dish or something like that, but by all means do it on a baking sheet if that's what you want. I've got some scissors here and I'm not going to fight with that bag. There we go. I don't like ripping that. But because when the air pops out, it can break the chips too if you're not careful, right? So they're all going in. We spread them around so they cover the bottom. That's a nice, really nice, it's all sorts of Ontario made. That's fantastic. Okay, so Alba Lisa. I told you I wasn't wearing glasses, so it'll show up at the end on one of our things. Now, let me just see. We've got that part on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Spread out your chips, done. Sprinkle some of the cheese on that. They recommended a mozzarella cheddar blend, so that is exactly what I bought. And it says about 1.5 cups. So we want to do half of our cheese, so that's, 3/4. So you know me, I think a little handful is about 1/4. And this is why we blind it with parchment, okay? Because we don't want to clean that up. That's going to be messy. You don't want to deal with that. And then it just says with cheese, then add your veggies and the black beans on top. So if we do veggies, and then I'm just making sure, so we're doing all of it, all of our veggies and beans, and then the rest of the cheese. Okay, I'm on it like dirt. I kind of think I want the beans first so that we can see all of this. I've got them in this pot, sorry Shannon. I dumped them back into the pot that I cooked them in because, it matters to me how many dishes I wash. And I've got a spoon here. It's little, but it's going to do the job. So I'm just, sorry, I know you're just seeing the bottom of the pot, but it's the only way I can do it. And there we go. And then just push them around a little bit. These look nice. I'll be honest with you, I always buy, like when I do black bean burgers and stuff, I always buy the canned beans, and it wasn't hard doing this with the black beans. I mean, I do this, I use raw beans, dried raw beans when I do like a baked bean casserole in the oven, but I never really thought of using them for things like this. So this is the kind of thing that this sort of program does for you as a cook in your own home. It brings you back to basics and teaches you how to do things that you didn't really think of. So now I'm kind of thinking, why do I buy them in a can? No good reason. Evidently, I thought it was just easier. This wasn't hard. This wasn't a big deal. Now my veggies. I think I want that green and red and orange on the very top, so I'm going to go tomatoes next. And I'm just going to try to split them around. There's lots. And then for the last 10 minutes, when 10 minutes is up, hey, did I set the timer? I did not. I'm going to set it for 7 minutes now. Ha, there you go. 7 minutes. So when it comes out, we're going to turn them over, and then we're going to turn them over, and then we're going to put them back in again, and we're going to add these in at the same time. I would like, these are supposed to bake at 400, whereas we've got the oven at 425, and I think I want to turn the oven back, and I think it'll be fine. That cauliflower is well done. I can hear a cricket chirping, and It's pretty insistent. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. It must be hiding somewhere in the building. Huh. When we turn out the lights, it'll go to sleep. And now I'm just going to sprinkle these. I want all that color. Oh my goodness, Shannon, can you see how beautiful these are coming together? Look at how pretty this looks. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. I kind of want them. I'm definitely going to cook this at home because this is beautiful. This looks gorgeous. So pretty. So pretty. And you're just trying to make sure that everywhere has some of everything, right? I mean, that's all we're doing there. And then sprinkle the rest of your cheese on top. Okay, so again, we're just cruising around. I want to get a good coat of cheese on the top, but you're thinking about 3/4 of a cup, in case you want to measure. Those cherry tomatoes are lovely. They're so nice. They're nice and plump, and they're not. You know, sometimes you buy them and they're little one bite tomatoes, right? Little tiny ones. Those ones look gorgeous. I think that's probably great. Look how nice that looks. And you know what? I mean, I know I cut that stuff up off camera, but it wasn't that hard. It wasn't a big deal. And honestly, if you got some help, you could have all those veggies diced up in like 10 minutes if other people were working with it. It's not a big deal. And the corn is fun, right? So I'm gonna go off, well, let me see. Yeah, we've got almost 5 minutes before the onion. Shannon's reminding me I didn't put the onion on. Are you kidding me? Thank heavens for Shannon. Or the corn. Ah, I am loopy. Doy. I'm sorry, I'm so not good at recipes. But look, I'm getting better. This is a lot of onion. Huh? I don't think we need this much. I'm gonna make sure that there's onion all the way across, and then I'm gonna say, I can use this in something tomorrow. And you know what? Chopped up onion will keep in your fridge. If you seal it up in a container, it'll keep. And then whatever you're cooking in a day or two, maybe it's an omelet, who knows what, you can just toss that in, it's ready to go. Shannon, thank you for paying attention. There. Okay, beautiful. And we've still got more cheese to go on top again, so we're okay. And now the gorgeous corn that I said was so much fun to cut up and then wasn't putting on. And there. I never thought of putting corn on nachos, to be honest. I think it's going to be quite nice. I like roasted corn, and I just never thought of putting it on nachos. I don't know why. It makes sense. I'm glad that this recipe said to do it. I add it to chili and things like that, so I'm not sure why I never thought of putting it right on the nachos. But look how pretty it looks. And you know what's fun to do with corn too at this time of year, because it's fresh right now, is once you've got it cut up into niblets like this, if you brown it in a saute pan, like just put a little color on it. You're gonna try to cook it, you're just putting some color on it, just in a little olive oil or something, and then throw it into a salad. Okay, people don't, it's a little unpredictable, right? The bits of corn in a salad, and it looks, just get a little color on it in a pan, just almost a dry pan, like a very little bit of oil, and let it get some color, and then toss it in. Really nice touch on the salad. I'm doing that now because we wanted cheese on top, and I've been dopey and forgotten, so we're just going to cover that up. That little mistake. Mistakes happen. Now no one except all of us need to know. There we go. That's going to be great. Now we can see how much time is left. 2 minutes. I'll come back in 2. These out of the oven, and we're doing the same thing again. We're just flipping them, just flipping it so that all the sides get nice and crispy. Just keep flipping it over. It's harder to tell now. The first time we did this, you could tell which ones have been flipped, but you can feel it. Now you can feel it. The side that was down is soft. And just keep flipping it around. And these smell so good. You are going to be happy. I turned the oven back to 400, okay? Because that's what it said to cook the nachos at, and I feel like these are cooked. It's not gonna matter if they're at a lower temperature now, they're cooked. So Everything's going back in. Recipe says 6 to 10 minutes for the nachos, and I'm going to run with 6 to start. I'll have a peek. If the cheese is all melty and looking good, I say they're done. I'm going to put this one back where it has been. I'm not going to change it. They're doing beautifully on that rack, so I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm going to put this beautiful, look at how nice this looks. I'm going to put that right above it. In it goes. I'm not going to forget 6 minutes on the timer. You can tell I'm not usually a recipe follower because I'm not used to being this rigid about things, but I really want to do a good job for them. They've been so generous with us here. Headwaters Food and Farming Alliance, they donated the kit that we're preparing here. This meal will go forward to a family in Orangeville for dinner, snacks, whatever they're doing with it. And they also donated 4 extra kits that I was able, after I picked them up, I drove around and was able to leave them at places here in Orangeville with families who were going to be able to either cook it that day, or maybe they're waiting and preparing it with us here tonight. I'm not sure. Either way, they're going to enjoy these beautiful nachos and the cauliflower buffalo wings. And isn't that generous? I'm so touched by how kind they've been in supporting Saving Time in the kitchen here at Westminster. I'll be back in 5 minutes probably now, and we'll get this out and be ready to eat. Look at this. This looks amazing. Smells fantastic. I'm just gonna get this for my other pan. Yay! Oh, these look good too. Wait till you see them. Wait till you see these nachos. These are loaded. Holy mackerel, they're pretty. And what a gorgeous meal. Can you imagine? This has been really fun for me because I didn't plan this meal. You know that? Like, you can imagine, I spend a lot of time thinking about food. And I think about food a lot. I wake up thinking about, this has been such a treat for me. I haven't followed a recipe like this in so many years, and it was really fun. It was nice, and it was nice to release that time and energy spent that you do planning a meal. And I'm hoping that that's how it feels for you a lot of the time when you follow the recipes that we create here on Saving Time. But with this, I mean, we took the whole shopping experience out of it too. This is fantastic. I really encourage you to get involved with Headwaters Food and Farming Alliance. Try to get involved with their local food club. It goes through the local growing season, end of the month, last Tuesday of each month, and beautiful, beautiful food. I love this. And you're gonna know which farms to go to if you wanna create this yourself, but you miss the timing on this particular food club kit. You'll be able to look into which farms the food came from and try to source it yourself. Have some fun. Bring the farm back into your kitchen, okay? Try to get that fresh food happening for yourselves. This has been such a treat for me. Thanks for joining me here tonight, watching us prepare this recipe. And make sure that you like the video, please. Subscribe if you haven't already so that you know what days these new videos come out. Hit the little bell, and that way you'll be notified when new videos start. This has been so much fun this week. I appreciate the contributions from Headwaters Food and Farming Alliance, and as always, quit letting food eat up all your time and money. Just get on board with eating well and having some fun in the kitchen. Bon appetit.